Now, what I'm about to do is break down the entire plan. Every step that you as a music creator are going to need to take in order to be heard, build an enduring fan base, and get paid doing what you love to do the most, which I would assume would be music. Now, this has taken me over 12 years to develop, figure out, and perfect, so I think it's in your best interest to take some notes because you're going to get a lot of value from this video. Now, this video is number 4 of 6, discussing magnetic music marketing. In fact, the first video I break down why traditional music marketing is dead, it's an antiquated system, and how magnetic music marketing has jumped in to take over. In the second video, I break down a simple technique called ABC mapping that you can use on any platform to gain clarity and focus around your organization of your content marketing strategy. And in the third video, I break down a concept that I call What Am I Posting For?, where I teach you how to never run out of content again and step your game up majorly. So if you've missed any of those videos, make sure to jump back and watch those after you're done taking notes on this video. All right, so before I jump into the actual teaching aspect of this video, I just want to say that I try my best to read through all the comments that you guys leave on my videos. So first and foremost, if you're leaving comments, joining the conversation, and being an active part of the channel family here, thank you. Secondly, one suggestion that a lot of you guys had left was to get back to iPad teaching rather than using the paper easel. Whether you're environmentally conscious, which I totally understand and support, or you didn't like the noise of the marker, or just the iPad is more appeasing to you visually, I'm on board with it. So I decided to do you one better, raise the production value of this video, and let me know in the comments below if you're team paper or team digital, and if you like this new setup so I can maybe make more videos like this for you guys. I hope it helps. Now, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna break down the entire game plan, the entire framework, how you can go from frustrated, maybe early on, maybe you're at it for 10 years and you're just kind of feeling like hopeless at this point, all the way to where you can have some sustainable income, you can have some supplemental income into a full-time income, because we have to crawl before we can walk, before we can run. And I'm gonna break down all the puzzle pieces to show you the grand picture of this. I know there's guys out there that are selling little programs here and there and here and there. They're only selling you one piece of the puzzle, one piece of the puzzle. You ultimately have to build the entire ecosystem if you want results. And that's the bottom line, guys. That's why I teach marketing. I don't just teach one little tip, one little trick. Now, what I want to do in this video is to show you how to go from this kind of frustrated emoji to go to this. Super smiley, being heard, building an adoring fan base, and making money while doing it. And money aside for a second, I understand that we need to be heard. That's why I start with that. We need to build an adoring fan base. So these are the order of operation that we have to do anyway. Any business that's out there doesn't go from idea to just mass profitability without people knowing about it, right? So if you want to go from this guy to that guy, what do we need to start with? Now, first and foremost, obviously music, so that's kind of a no-duh type thing, but I'm going to put it here anyway. Draw a little music note here. And then what do we have to do? Well, if you want to build a personal brand around your music, if you want to build a brand around your music, you need the brand and the business. That's why you pay $180 for some limited edition Nikes, actually like upwards of thousands of dollars for the really limited edition stuff, whether it be Nike, Adidas, you get the picture, the hype beast stuff, right? What we have to do is we have to be able to create our brand to where it has some value, it has some oomph, a differentiating factor from the rest of the crowd. So right here, we need to work on brand development. That's where you start worrying about your logo and your brand narrative and your aesthetic. And then we work from there. And as soon as you have an aesthetic and a narrative that you're confident with, in fact, I was speaking to one of my students relatively recently about this. I told them, I said, I'm able to say, you know, what's going on, guys? AdamIvySellMusic.com, here to help. But I wouldn't say that in real life. You know, it'd be kind of weird if I met one of you guys out and about and I introduced myself to you as, what's going on, guys? AdamIvySellMusic.com, here to help you go further. That's my mantra and that's my mission statement for you guys here on YouTube. Something I'm proud of and it's something I have a lot of confidence in. But if I were talking to an 80-year-old woman that I meet at the grocery store, I'd say, hey, I'm Adam. I specialize in marketing and I specialize in music. So I help other music creators get attention for what they're making. That's a quick little 7-second breakdown, but I could also go on stage and talk about this for 30 minutes. And in fact, some of my videos go over 30 minutes. And those of you who can make it to the end of those videos, thank you. Now, brand development is so important because it's who you are. As I talk about in some of these other YouTube videos, the main 3 pillars to any major brand is knowing who you are, having clarity, knowing who you are to strangers, and knowing where those strangers are. So how do we get to those strangers? Well, we got to start working on our marketing content. Once we have that marketing content, I'm talking about videos, I'm talking about photos, I'm talking about the captions, getting those hashtag things ready to release out to the world. It could be a video if you're trying to build a YouTube channel here. It could be music, quite honestly, if you don't have enough. Be able to do some audio visualizers for the beat makers out there. And for some of you singer-songwriters, it's a great way to highlight your music without having to be on camera per se. Now, once we have that marketing content over here, we start working on our inbound marketing, inbound music marketing. Let me know in the comments if my penmanship is easily legible. Otherwise, just go based on what I'm saying. I think it's halfway decent. Now, inbound music marketing is similar to magnetic music marketing in the sense that they're interchangeable, right? So magnetic music marketing is bringing people in. Inbound, which I'm inbound certified through HubSpot, through SEMrush, through the corporate realm. What this is it's going to bring people in, and we break this down in other videos. But what I'm doing here is showing you the flow chart in which you really need to pay attention to, because I know a lot of you guys try to skip steps and then you get frustrated and ultimately hit burnout. And I'm trying to avoid that for you guys. So once you have that content, what you start doing is inbound marketing is all about bringing people in. As I mentioned in another video, it'd be like going to the mall and trying to get 30 people to play tag with you by going up to them and saying, tag, you're it, tag, you're it, tag, you're it, tag, you're it, tag, you're it. That's outbound marketing. That's direct response marketing, and that's direct to consumer marketing, which would be if you were in a parking lot, for instance, somebody came up to you and said, hey, are you interested in solar panels? Do you need a windshield replaced? There's a club opening up across the street. Here's some free drink tickets. That's outbound. That's numbers based on conversions. That's so a certain amount of touches for a certain amount of time, and then they're trying to convert X amount, right? So if I'm trying to sell windshields and I'm scouring a Walmart parking lot for 8 hours, how many people did I interact with, touch? It's a marketing term. So typically nobody will convert on a marketing content unless you touch them 8 to 11 times. That's a whole different story. But ultimately what we're talking about is in this parking lot, if I go up to 500 people in an 8-hour day, and 7 people convert, well, that's outbound marketing. But instead, if I have billboards, if I were to go out and have commercials that say, hey, if you have a windshield chip, I have a free windshield for you, just call my number. That's inbound marketing, where you start putting out articles on, 5 easy ways to repair your windshield for free with a chip, or 5 major suppliers of windshields. You get what I'm saying? I'm kind of getting off track, so let me jump right back into it. What we're doing with inbound is going to the same mall, trying to get 30 people to play tag with us. And instead of, going up and playing tag and assaulting them, getting kicked out of the mall, as I was talking to one of my students about, what I would do is I'd make a sign. It would say, I bet you I can catch you if you want to play tag. Tag me to find out if I'm right. And then I'm holding that sign in the food court. It's all metaphor, but you're getting 3 different things. You're getting hot traffic, those that want to play tag with you immediately. You got cold traffic, people that are looking down at their phones, not paying attention, clearly not wanting to interact with anything you have to offer. Then you have warm traffic. Warm traffic is the most important traffic, because they might not be ready to take advantage of your offer today, but they're familiar with who you are at that point. So maybe there's a person walking through the mall that sees you holding the sign. They come up and they say, hey, did you lose a bet or something? Why are you doing this? You have a little bit of an interaction. They say, sorry, I have a twisted ankle, otherwise I'd play tag with you. Maybe a couple of weeks later, if you were at that mall and they saw a different offer, maybe like free hugs, they would be more inclined to play at that time. So what we're ultimately doing, or not play, but take you up on that offer, warm traffic is the biggest bucket. If I drink a cup of coffee, that coffee is satisfying immediately. That would be hot traffic. The warm traffic would be the 55-gallon drum of beans that aren't brewed into coffee yet. We need to worry about that warm traffic, and that's how inbound marketing works. We have the brand developed, so we know what we're pitching. We have the music, we have the content. You know what we're putting out there as far as bait buckets. So for instance, if I have a podcast interview and I talk about music marketing, or I talk about sync licensing, and then somebody's interested maybe in my personality, maybe they think I'm charismatic, they think, is this on 1.5 speed because this guy talks really fast, whatever it might be, they might be intrigued, and it's up to us as marketers, content marketers, as music creators, to get them intrigued to come join our ecosystem. So a podcast could lead to them checking me out on Instagram, which could lead to them following me, realizing that some of my content points to YouTube videos. All of a sudden I have a subscriber. That subscriber now watches videos as you might be, and maybe they're interested in my upcoming Sell Music Masterclass 2.0. You can get on that early bird waiting list just by going to sellmusic.com, so you could have first access to it before it opens to the public, and maybe they're on my mailing list now. So ultimately you take a complete stranger, as I've talked about in multiple other videos, because this is real marketing, Take a stranger, walk them through the path, over-deliver, delight them to become an evangelist for your brand. These are the people that are going to be sharing your music. These are the people that are going to be telling their friends to add your single, to add your instrumental to their playlists. These people are incredibly important. It's kind of like what we're looking at right here. Those people are strangers. These people are your fans. We're going through the journey together. So your inbound marketing leads you to be able to bring more people in. But from there, what do? We have to scale that. So ultimately, we do the interactions and then follow to fans conversions. I think that's how you spell it. If not, follow me here. I'm teaching you marketing, not spelling or phonetics. So interaction, when it comes to the engagement behind the people who are now in your ecosystem, they're now in your magnetic pull, you get what I'm saying, gravitational pull. You turn them into fans through your engagement and through engaging content. A lot of people out there are saying, like, if you're trying to build an Instagram or a Facebook, you're wasting time. No, you're not. They're just trying to profit off people and prey on people. Ultimately, what we have to do here is we have to build an actual ecosystem around you so that nobody else can sell a program to you to keep you below them. I'm sure some of you guys are currently in a program, or you might have bought a program or maybe an ebook or a book in the past that just really didn't seem like they were giving you the full picture. It didn't seem like they wanted to elevate you. They wanted to teach you just enough to make money off of you, and then they want to keep you underneath them because you never buy a product from a competitor when it comes to that. Anyway, what we want to do is after we turn them to a fan, we have to start monetizing. So we have the brand developed. We have our marketing all in play to where, hey, we're getting streams, but we need to scale those. We need to be able to make some money with our music, because money is what is going to feed all of this into growing and being able to pay your car payment, being able to pay your house payment, be able to build your dream home studio or go out and buy a 55-inch TV because you want to help people with marketing. This is what we need to do in order to feed the business. You can't have a business without income. I know that money is very uncomfortable for a lot of us to talk about, myself included. It's one of my character flaws. I'm not really good at, talking to people about the revenue side of things, because I know, coming from a background where I didn't have much growing up, it could be very awkward when somebody's talking about a large sum of money, like making $50,000 in a month, when you've never experienced 2,000. So you can't. I'm not trying to get off subject here, guys, but ultimately what I want you guys to understand is, if you want to build a brand, if you want to go from that guy to this guy, money's going to be involved. So what we have to do here is we have to start diversifying our revenue streams. So if you're dead in the water right now with only one revenue stream that might have dried up, let's say it's YouTube views, whether it's Spotify money, whether it's merch, or maybe you did live gigs, you're gonna feel me on this one. Being able to diversify your revenue streams, as I did in a recent video showing how I broke down, I think 12 of my income streams in detail, showing you how it all works and how they intertwine, and how much I made here, how much I made there. You need to be able to have all these different revenue streams coming in. I don't care if it's $30 a month to start, if it's $400 a month to start. You need to be able to build this so that if YouTube disappears tomorrow, if Instagram disappears, if you're just selling merch, you need to have other sources of income, so that if one dries up, if one changes, if an algorithm shifts your money, you need to be able to bring this in, guys. So you need to diversify your revenue streams. From diversifying your revenue streams, one thing that we can also throw in here, which I was just talking to one of my students about, is sponsorships and endorsement deals. Now, I know to some of you guys this might be discouraging, and to others it might be incredibly encouraging. But one of my students late last year, actually it might have been early this year, got a pretty significant sponsorship deal with less than 2,500 followers on Instagram. It was right around 2,500, and I'm not at liberty to tell you all the details about that, but it was a paid sponsorship, free product plus pay. I'm just not going to tell you who it is, but it's $50. They made $50, and they got a product that was worth about $350. So somebody with less than 2,500 followers is getting paid to be a sponsor for a company that they were tickled pink to work with. It was like a guitar product thing. I'm not a guitar player. So some of you guys know how much pickups and strings and amps and cables and stuff are, but they were in, what are they called? The fret, not the frets, the thing that clamps onto the, I'm not a guitar, I have a couple guitars, but I'm no guitar specialist. I need to spend some time practicing. But what we need to work on is being able to get that brand established to the point where people are coming to you, or you're opening doors yourself by doing some outreach. And I teach all of this in my upcoming Sell Music Masterclass 2.0. This is kind of why I'm breaking it all down for you, to show you the entire roadmap. Now, what do we do once we have a brand established? We have streams, those are going through the roof. We have an active audience. Doesn't matter if it's 50 people, 500 people, or 5,000 people, more than you started with, you have growth. So we're bringing in money. We're feeling good about all the different things that we're putting out there to bring people back in, and then we're scaling it. That's what we need to do next. So from here, you scale. What that is you understand budgeting for promotions. Maybe you want to get into paid marketing. All of this up to this point is all completely organic. I'm not sitting here teaching you how to use Facebook ads to scale your beat selling business when you have 2 beats ever made. That'd be asinine. That'd be really, really stupid if you're thinking of doing that. I'm not here to tell you that, you need to dump $600 a week into paid marketing, because you don't. I built a 6-figure beat selling business with spending very little on ads. Actually nothing on ads when I started making money. It wasn't until I made about $100,000 that I scaled by dumping a lot of money into different paid marketing. And this is before I knew how to do a lot of the stuff myself. So designers and website people to help me design all of this stuff, where when you can scale it with the money that you're making, when you can buy the home studio and build it with the money that you're making from music, it's an absolutely great feeling, as I've said in multiple videos. And to this day, still got goosebumps. The thing is, this is capable. Let me take a step back. I get emotional when I talk about this stuff, guys. This is possible for you. When I was growing up in Wisconsin and I barely graduated high school and I was working in a wood window factory, I didn't know about any of this stuff. And it wasn't until I figured out that I was worth more than all those other motherfuckers were telling me I was, that I figured this out. I said, there has to be more in life than punching a clock for $15 an hour. And I was fortunate, because at 16 years old, I was told that I wasn't going to be able to go to college because I didn't have enough credits, and my GPA was about a 1.7. That's why to this day, my I-8 license plate says bad GPA. Because I had and I'll tell this story in a different video, but I had I'm not going to name her name because she was a very sweet woman, but I had a guidance counselor that said, Adam, like, even the technical colleges, you're not going to be able to get into because you have a bad GPA. She did encourage me to become a stand-up comedian, which I kind of wish I would have done at some point. The fact of the matter is, we can all go from that to here, but you got to have work ethic. You got to have decent music. You got to have a self-belief system. And that's why in the beginning of my program, the first thing we work on is mindset, because so many of us were raised with a fucked up mindset, thinking that we're not good enough, that money is evil, that it's the cause of stress and divorce. It's the cause of so many bad things that crumble beneath our feet as we're getting older. But money's a glorious thing. If you're a fucking asshole, money will just make you a bigger fucking asshole. But if you're a good person, money can do a lot of things for you. It can open a lot of doors, not only for yourself, but for charitable things that are important to you. Now I'm opening up the doors to the public to my Sell Music Masterclass 2.0 on April 6th at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. If you want to become a student, all you got to do is go to sellmusic.com, and I'm going to teach you all this and more. I haven't even scratched the surface because it won't fit. Excuse me, it won't fit on the screen. A lot of you guys are going out there looking for information. You're scouring the internet, getting conflicting information. This guy's telling you this thing, I'm telling you another thing, this guy's telling you something else. All I recommend is using all of the free content to start taking action on, and whoever's free content is helping you the most, it's probably who has your back. That's all I'm saying. Get your name on the early bird waiting list over at sellmusic.com. I'll have a link in the description box below. Come connect with me over on Instagram. Follow the plan, guys. It's going to work. In my next video, I'm going to break down how one of my students went from having under 5,000 streams on her Spotify to now over 80,000 streams in less than 3 months. It's possible for her. It's possible for you. I'll see you in the next video.
Welcome to the Sell Music Masterclass, where we give you, the creator, proven advanced strategies with actionable tactics and techniques to help you monetize your music and develop a powerful online brand. With your instructor, Adam Ivy.